Greetings, everyone. This is Linda Talafero, and it is Tuesday, East Coast in the US, and of course, it is 9 p.m., which makes it Transformational Tuesday time. My name is Linda Talafero, and I have a career advisory firm called The Extra Effort, where I help professionals get unstuck, figure out why they've gotten passed over numerous times so that they can resolve those issues of getting passed over and get their seat at the table. And I love to remind everyone that that seat at the table is whatever they have described it to be for them. So if you've been following me, you know that I've been talking about, at least in the month of April, those challenges that we've had in this very strange time that we're living in. And tonight I want to talk about how to deal with ambiguity in the workplace. Clearly, we know this is an ambiguous time right now. It is a time where we might lack direction. We might lack clarity in our roles, and our future is uncertain. We're not even sure what is going to be the new workplace we enter. For those of us who we still have our jobs intact, and then for those of us who unfortunately our jobs aren't intact. And so that makes the future even more uncertain. So that's what I want to talk about tonight. And I want to give you some clear suggestions on how to handle ambiguity in the workplace, and ambiguity in this unique situation we have with regard to our roles, our jobs, our career. So one of the first things I want to talk about and how to deal with ambiguity is to focus on what you know. The fact that it is an uncertain time, or your future may not be defined completely clearly for you, your role may not be defined, but there are some things that you definitely know. And it's important to focus on that. What is it that you know for sure? And let that be what you are intentional about, what your attention goes to, is what you know. You don't want to get sucked into trying to have a crystal ball and to figure out what the possibilities could be, the ifs, the ands, the so forth, but focus on what you know. That's the first thing I would highly implore you to take with you during this really strange time we're in. And as you potentially prepare to re-enter the workplace, if you're going to be in an ambiguous situation when you enter there, focus on the things that you know for sure. And then as you focus on those things that you know, the second thing I would offer to you is to have confidence in that knowing. So you're going to enter into a situation that's going to be unsure. You're going to have to do some risk taking. You're going to have to problem solve, meaning handle situations that may come at you. So stand in your confidence that you are properly prepared. Because you know what you know, you're properly prepared to enter into an uncertain situation or a role that may not have clearly defined goals. But because of the fact that you are confident in what you bring to the table, you can move forward. You can actually go into the next situation that I'm going to talk about, or the next area of dealing with ambiguity, and that is planning. Do some planning around how you're going to approach the situation, how you're going to deal with any things that may come your way that are completely new to you. And that the best way in order to do some really strong planning is through communication. I talk about on a regular basis having a very strong network of people that you have built relationships. When you are in an ambiguous situation, your networks, your relationships can be powerful because you can reach into them. You can get information that you otherwise would not be able to attain. That then raise your confidence level. That adds to what you know and allows you then to plan and move forward strongly through that communication with your network. So first, let me reiterate, focus on what you know at the time that you re-enter into the situation, or the time that you go back into your role, or currently if you're working from home and things are still not clear in some certain areas, focus on what you know. Two, trust in yourself, believe in yourself, have that higher sense of confidence, and then communicate, reach out to your network, gather information, leverage the relationships that you have, because it's definitely key to your success. This has been a constant thread. You guys that have been with me for the long haul, you know this is a constant thing that I often refer to is your relationships. And when you're in an ambiguous situation, what better than to have a very strong network of people that can fill in the gaps for you? So important. Number four is, and you know, guys, I prepare, I have these notes. So you see me looking off to the left. That's what I'm looking at as my notes. Number four is let go of the need to be perfect. You're in a situation where things are uncertain. So there's not you're not going to be perfect. Perfection is that thing we aspire to that can have us be in this spiral. Because if you've heard me say this before, perfection is not, it doesn't exist. None of us are perfect. But because some of us have that need to know in advance, step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I know in advance that this is going to happen, and I know in advance, therefore everything can be perfect and lined up perfectly. But when you're in a state of ambiguity, perfectionism it's never your friend, and in ambiguity, it's definitely not your friend. So you're going to have to let go of that need of perfectionism, which allows you to be agile. That is a major key within leadership. A major skill is this agility piece, because you can flex and operate without the need to be perfect, without things lining up for you in advance in a perfect manner. So your agility becomes your friend in an environment of ambiguity. And last but not least, courage. Flat out courage. It is courageous to show up in an atmosphere that lacks clarity, that things are not fully defined, but yet you perform, but yet you move forward, but yet you leverage your relationships, but yet you stand in your courage, but yet you are agile. That is flat out courageous. So amp up your level of ability to operate and show those virtually around you, or as you re-enter into the workplace, those people that are around you, that, wow, he did not let that rock him, or she did not get off her square because things were not aligned for her perfectly. They still performed. They still showed up strongly. So I'm going to go through these one more time for you. Focus on what you know. Leverage that confidence. Build that confidence so that you can be a risk taker, so that you can problem solve in spite of not having clear direction. Communicate that relationship, those relationships you built, that network, use it, communicate, reach out, get information, fill in some gaps. Be agile. Be agile. Number 4, don't allow perfection to be your nemesis. Let go of the perfection. And lastly but not least, courageous. Be courageous. Stand in it. Don't let ambiguity, the inability to have clear direction, the inability to clearly have your role defined, to not have a completely defined future for you in a crystal ball, be what holds you back. Do not allow it to do so. Instead, you take control. and you leverage the ambiguity to your benefit and show up strong as a leader. I would love to have you join me with the rest of people that are also dealing with ambiguity and showing up as leaders in my private Facebook group. It's at the Tea with Linda. So you go search that in my Facebook group, and you're going to find something that calls Transform Your Career. And I would love to have you just answer a few quick questions and join me in that private Facebook group. It is a wonderful community where we support each other as we're trying to deal with exactly what I've talked about tonight. And that's that ambiguous situation that none of us can control, but like change, it's ever present and consistent. Ambiguity is. So again, Facebook at the Tea with Linda, and then go to Transform Your Career. Just click on that cover that you see when you get to my Facebook page. I would love to have you join me, in that private Facebook group. And I think I just saw the link in the comments there. So if some of you see the link there, please click on that and join me. Again, real quick, I see some of you come on with me. Thank you for joining me live. If you're catching this on the replay, catching this on the podcast, again, I'm going to round them off for you. Focus on what you know. Stand in your confidence. Communicate, leverage that network. Be agile. Don't let perfection weigh you down. And last but not least, stand in your courage. Have a wonderful night and the rest of your day.